All right, Connor, sorority girls.
Yeah, sororities are very interesting. Basically, you join a group of other girls and you do a lot of stuff together, but there's a lot of like pledging and hazing and like weird ritual stuff. It's really strange.
Is based on looks, and it's like if you see a pretty girl and she's nice, you're gonna be like, oh, I'm so excited about her, she's so cute. Like that's a word that a lot of people use. She's so cute, she's so pretty. It's
Pretty privilege.
I'll give a little context.
pretty privilege is such a thing. Yeah.
Wait, so is it a pretty girl club?
Okay, so there's the selection process. You like quote unquote talk to them, but in reality, you don't spend enough time to actually get to know these people. There are certain sororities that are known for having disproportionately only good looking and or wealthy girls, right? There are definitely biases. Not always as much like the wealth part, but to be in a sorority, you probably need to have a lot of disposable income because you spend a lot of money on it. It can be like hundreds a semester, and for some places like thousands. It's crazy.
Right. It's like a group club activities type of thing, right? And only the pretty girls
like
are
an
in there, I
exclusive
guess.
Club. Think of it like that. Think of it like an exclusive club with like rituals, the Illuminati or whatever. It's like the stonemasons or something.
The impression I got of it was that these are a bunch of demon chicks performing cult rituals, bashing a guy's head in their under their carpet. There might be like dead dogs. You never know, you know.
So this one was.
I love how they say spectrum, like they're all on the spectrum. It's just so funny.
You're joining a sorority, Loki, you are. I'm playing.
By MD.
Don't toast me, guys. Come on.
All right. I pay to have friends. 3, 2,
Technically
1.
true.
Technically true. Technically true. Yeah.
I knew this was gonna come up. Best money I ever spent.
No, for real. Answer. For real.
Oh. I'm sorry. Yeah, I paid to be a part of an organization that introduced me to like really, really amazing women. And it's like, if that's what people want to say, that's what they say. But like, I'd do it again. So.
Right. No, yeah, I would be with you.
You can
on
also
that
be
side
straight up though.
if I made
fine.
more
It's like if you
friends.
join a social club and you pay for it, you are technically paying to meet these people. That's okay. It's just like it is what it is though.
Joining the club for the club activity, for example, if you join like a chess club, you're doing it for chess, not really for the social element. I guess you're not paying for friends. Paying for friends is like I don't know, it's a little different.
It's like you're paying to be a group with a group of people and to do stuff with them.
Oh no,
like
no.
A chess club,
Sororities, yeah, for sure. I'm just
Maybe
talking
like
about
a
general
country club.
clubs. So yeah.
Yeah.
Transferred to my school, and so everyone had been friends since freshman year, and so trying to like navigate that like social scene where everyone already knows each other and they're comfortable with their friends and they're not actively looking for more.
And also, like, you could pay and girls could still not like it's not like you're paying for the philanthropy. You don't pay and then all of a sudden like, oh, I have to like you. Like there are like probably a million girls who are in sororities and don't have friends at all.
We're all busy sometimes, so I feel like we don't have those moments
Her
where
name is what?
we get to connect as much because I'm considered a neo still. So
Do you feel like pushed out since you're a neo? Like, do you feel like you have to like work towards that relationship?
you know, I thought that was how it was gonna be in the beginning. With mine, I feel like it was actually pretty good. I mean, it's a pretty small sorority, so going into it, I think they were like more accepting. I think it was more me trying to break that mind of like, I'm still little and they're still my big sisters. Like, no, now we're equal.
I love to party.
You did get friends in it. We're not saying that you pay money, like it's not a direct transaction. Like I pay $5 for one friend, right? You pay money to join an organization where you can make friends. So I pay money for my friend. Yeah, you're not paying money for your friends, but you paid money to get to the opportunity to be in situations where these people who then became your friends because you're in the sorority fraternity with these people. I think it is yes, but it's not as bad as it sounds.
Yeah, my impression of sorority girls is not high IQ thinking debaters. Like, I'm not expecting some astrophysicist answers over here. I'm expecting a yes. That's pretty much my expectations here. So anything more than that is a plus. I don't know. I love to party.
1, go.
If you party, you're cringe.
I do
Go
love
do
to
something
party,
with
of
your
course.
life.
You know, the getting ready, doing hair, makeup, and stuff. There's just times where, I don't know, I just rather be at home, watching a movie, chilling with friends.
I definitely agree. Like, there's some days I just want to stay home. With all the violence going on, that definitely determines my thought process of staying home, but...
Okay, I like to go out to a bar with my friends, get a little mixy-mixy, but I don't want to like go to the frat house, get disgusting, smell like the BO of like
Dude,
40
frat houses are
men,
something
and there's like
else.
5 girls.
Is that like the counterpart to the sorority?
So fraternities are just kind of like guy organizations. And a lot of my friends, I'd say the majority of my friends are in fraternities. I know a lot of people that I have a lot of respect for that are in fraternities. It was not something I was going to do. First of all, huge opportunity cost, like not being able to do YouTube would be it. Like I have an exact dollar amount for how much a fraternity would cost by not doing YouTube. But
Why
also
would it,
just,
wait, why would you not be able to do? Is it just like a bunch of activities and you live all close to each other?
So fraternities are worse because you have to like quote unquote pledge one, which
Mm.
means you need to spend an entire semester. Basically, you work all the parties, you do all the work for like the entire weekend. During the week, you have to do whatever like the brothers of the fraternity say. If they want you to drive them 2 hours, you got to do it. If they want you to go pick up food for them, you got to do it. And then they haze you, which is like they basically just degrade you. They like some people will pee on, you have to touch other dudes. I'm like, I'm not paying for that, bro. I'm not trying to pay to touch another dude's
What goes on in America, bro? What is this?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my
I'm
God.
like, dude. And the thing is, it's so funny. It's like some of these fraternities are the most homophobic, but also the most homosexual at the same time. It's such a weird contradiction because it's crazy, dude.
Sounds crazy.
I respect some of the good ones. Not all of them are like that. The ones my friends are in are kind of just groups of guys that just enjoy party life of college, which is fine. They're not touching each other's peens and peeing on each other.
Okay, bro. We need to move past this. This is getting a bit devilish.
This can be in there, but I would rather be like high than drunk, and I'm not gonna be high because then you're like analyzing everything around you, and it's like these 19-year-old boys that are just like, like, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah, no, that's so true about like the whole drinking culture at my school. I go to San Diego State. It's a really big party school, so it's either you black out or you don't have a good time.
Yeah.
And I don't like blacking out. I like remembering what I did the night before. So that's like why I'm on site somewhat disagrees, because I don't want to black out every time I go out.
I also think if you're not partying and you're not going out, like you're gonna become a ghost.
Yeah.
It's harder. No, deadass. It's harder to stay relevant. Like if people don't see you. Like
Nobody cares about you. What do you mean stay relevant? God, these damn chicks, bro.
There's a lot of high school stuff that goes on at my college, and it really is only the fraternity and sorority stuff. Like there is, who is the best fraternity? Oh my God, so and so is dropping in the rankings. It's so unbelievably cringe.
What is this ridiculous popularity contest? As if you're worth anything. As if anybody gives a shit about like your social status. Like, why would that even matter to you? And no, you don't become a ghost if you don't go to parties. Like, other people do exist who don't spend their lives drinking and getting high. By the way, both of those are horrible things. Alcohol is literally poison. Even like a small amount of it, everything is bad for you. So I don't know why. Like, if you can't have fun without alcohol, you're a bit of a loser, in my opinion. But
yeah, there's something I thought about is like how many college activities that are like quote unquote fun are not actually fun, they're just an excuse to go drink. Like a lot of sports events, a lot of people go to them because they're super drunk. A lot of like fraternity parties, drunk. Sports bars, drunk. All these things is like it's opportunities to drink alcohol, which unequivocally bad for you. Like in moderation, you just take the risk. Like if you're gonna take the risk, be aware of the risks. But like, dang, that's all I'm.
Dude, everybody just wants excuses to engage in pointless hedonism, to make themselves feel good, indulge in alcohol, hooking up, and all this stuff. It's just such a degen lifestyle that I personally can't respect. You can do whatever you want. I just think that you're gonna look back in a couple of years and being like, whoopsie doozy, oh, life's gone, whoopsie, should have built something significant with my life. But I don't know, if you're getting stuck in these ridiculous popularity contests is so dumb. I feel no need to be at a higher status in my school or something like that. It's completely ridiculous. Do not care.
Also goes away when you graduate. Like it just disappears.
Completely
I think that's a
goes
reality
away.
that's gonna hit a lot of people here. Like what they're building disappears. They're building a sandcastle. The tide is coming in when they graduate.
Exactly. It's like, it's so pointless. You should not care about these things. Focus, unironically, probably focus on your studies, you know? Probably a better thing to do than this.
they'll forget about
If you're there, focus on your studies, man. I mean, have fun too.
Some sororities
College, have fun, but-
only take pretty people. Go.
The answer is some. Some. Not all. Some.
I'm like conflicted. Okay.
There's a few sororities at my school do solely go based off looks. If you're blonde and you're skinny, you're in. Personally, my sorority doesn't do that. I think it's just a load of bull crap. It's so superficial.
I totally agree. I was definitely inducted into a sorority because I was blonde and thin. Yeah.
We're talking about like
I was
that's where
actually
they get their
inducted into
power
a sorority
from.
because
Like
of my massive boobs, but that's another
indeed.
story.
everybody thinking like they're so pretty or they're so untouchable, and I don't think my sorority is like that. But I think it matters to my sorority. It sucks, but that's just how it is, you know? And I think it is because it's a social institution. Like, it just relies on other people, like, feeding into it, like, catering to it, kinda, so.
The exclusivity of a lot of sororities is what makes them like a top house or like more desired.
Yeah.
I felt like a lot of sorority recruitment is based on looks, and it's not maybe something that people are even like conscious of. But
I'm starting to realize, like, understand what this is. It's kind of like a certain sorority groups are like this high status group where only selected people can get in. It's kind of like those social groups you have, and then you think you're better than other people just because you're in there.
So, little funny story about a sorority at my school. I'm not going to name it. Doesn't matter. But what they'll do on your student information page, you have your address, which I removed, by the way. I can go in and remove it. Most people don't know you can remove it. I'm not letting that out there. But what they'll do is they'll take your address and they'll throw it into this website called Zillow, which gives an estimate for how much your house is worth. And if you're applying to this sorority, basically, and your house is X amount or more, you're basically in, which is so ridiculous. But it's true. I was like, whoa.
Sounds like a little reflection on American college culture in general. I don't know, this ridiculous status battle. I'm sure there's like parts where it's not as degen, but this whole concept seems so ridiculous. Definitely a mean girl high school type of thing. Like, it seems like what you portray in movies and the media and stuff.
I think it's a lot of making up for not really being able to accomplish anything. You can accomplish something now. I mean, I'm building my own stuff and our own stuff now, right? But I think a lot of kids are in a position where they're studying or they're maybe an intern, but they haven't really done anything, which is it's fine. You don't need to do something now. I happen to, and you, Pegasus, are doing something now as well, but you don't need to. But I think there's definitely a feeling of like, I need to prove to myself that I'm worth something. Therefore, I am aiming for a good sorority fraternity. Look, I've done something, when this is a sandcastle, right? Tide's coming in.
You definitely
build something on ground.
You definitely hit the nail on the head there, because this is basically what a lot of people do who've never actually tried to achieve anything in their lives. They just attach themselves to something that's completely ridiculous, whether it be just something they were born with, their identity, maybe their gender, maybe their sexuality, maybe their country or something,
politics,
or their race.
Politics,
or politics. It's like you just want to be able to say that you're part of something without actually doing any work and, getting to a certain level. It's just, I feel like it's better to attach yourself to something that you've earned rather than something you were given or born with or something. But whatever. I don't know. Everybody wants to feel special. This is what it is.
if you see a pretty girl and she's nice, you're gonna be like, oh, I'm so excited about her. She's so cute. Like, that's a word that a lot of people use. She's so cute. She's so pretty. It's like
Pretty privilege is a thing.
pretty privilege is such a
Like
thing.
100%.
Yeah.
So I mainly had more experiences with.
Statistical fact.
Don't get me started on like shit, man.
I mean, there's a part of me, I'm plus size, and I was really scared for a second that I wasn't gonna get accepted or something because I am plus size. But I mean, I've seen other plus size people in the multicultural sororities, and I'm like, okay, if they're part of it, then I definitely have a chance. So
I feel like there's always gonna be like a million disadvantages you have. No, life is always not fair. You gotta work with what you got. There's always talent and there's hard work, and hard work always beats talent every time in pretty much every field. So there's it just is what it is. You gotta outwork everybody, right?
was kind of conflicted.
K through 12, I grew up in like very white spaces, and so like all I saw about sororities are like traditionally like white sororities, and like I didn't see myself in those spaces, and like it was very clear that like if someone like me is not in the room, there's a reason why. And so when I got to my school, and like when you all just like are all black, like it just has like a different type of feeling. Like you feel like more seen and like understood because of like common circumstances.
The image doesn't necessarily have to do with like your physical appearance, like looking put together all the time. It's more of like how you appear to people on the outside. Like when we are going through recruitment or just in general, like you can't post red solo cups, you can't post alcohol if you're under 21.
I think it's something different though, like posting alcohol and like looking like a mess, because just like real world shit, like you don't want you 19 like drunk on Instagram, like when you're trying to get a job. So like my sorority does care about that, and it's not so much like they're trying to control me, but we just should be like that. You just shouldn't post alcohol if you're not 21.
Yeah, I mean,
Exactly.
sorry, I don't know how to word this. I feel like when the frat bros like post up with their kegs and their red Solo cups, it's fine.
Right.
But it feels like a little bit misogynistic that like a girl needs to look classy and she can't drink alcohol, but like the boys can do it. And like, why is that a thing?
Is that a thing?
No, but then again, I have a limited sample size. I have never seen a guy post on Instagram. Maybe this is true, but I think it's a bad look. Actually, you know what? She actually does have a point. I have seen a lot more guys, very uncommon, and a lot of them try not to do this, but I've almost never seen a girl post herself looking kind of trashed or whatever. I have seen guys occasionally like leave the cups in, leave something in, be less careful with it.
Wait, what is this about? You know, posting on social media looking trashy? I mean,
so the sororities care a lot about the image that they're kind of trying to create. So each individual member, when they like wear the letters, is then associated with the sorority, and then the sorority is associated with them. So if they have a member who's posting on Instagram photos of them getting like really trashed or whatever, then there's going to be an image association with the sorority. Even though obviously all these girls get trashed every Friday night, right? It happens, but they don't want it to be like something that they choose to post. So the sororities care a lot more about their image than fraternities do, and sororities will literally give you punishments or fine you or something if you post that stuff. So I don't know if it's really a sexism thing or just, I mean, it might be, but it's also fraternities just don't care and sororities do.
I feel like I'm watching a TV show. This is so like distant from reality.
It is mega goofy, and I sometimes just watch it just to be like, oh, what's happening in today's episode of Mega Goofy Land?
And the
When it's
sorority
like-
definitely upholds that, you know, and I
Yeah.
think reinforces it too.
Yes, they reinforce it, but it's also like when you go out into the world, like you're not gonna solve misogyny because you're like, I'm gonna post this cup and I'm bossed up. It's just like, no, like at the end of the day, when you apply for a job, they're Googling you, they're going on your Instagram and they're seeing who you are. And they're not thinking about sexism when they see you with a red Solo cup.
True. I mean, whatever you put on the internet is going to be used. You know, they're going to look into your background when they're hiring you for a job and stuff. So if you portray an image that you're this trashy person who, you know, is not responsible, obviously they're not going to want to hire you. It's not. Don't think it's sexism. It's just kind of, you know, just vetting the person. I don't know. If I saw a drunken guy like getting trashed, like every feed, he's just getting trashed in every post. Obviously, I wouldn't hire him. It's just ridiculous. You know, you're not being responsible.
I've been made to do things I'm uncomfortable with while in a sorority.
So, according to what you said, definitely happens in frats, considering they're making people touch peepees. What a bizarre.
I'm like, dude, you're paying for that. That's crazy.
Bizarre.
And then they're the most homophobic too. I'm like, something's wrong with this picture over here. With sororities, it kind of depends. So the sorority hazing, it tends to be less of a thing, but it still is sometimes a thing. Like fraternities is almost guaranteed. It's almost like built into it. With sororities, sometimes they'll do something. So there's this practice which is pretty gross. What they'll do is they will put a girl on a washing machine. They will turn a washing machine on, and then any part of their body that like jiggles, they will like take a pen and like circle it and tell them to lose it. Insane stuff, dude. Insane stuff. It is the mental gymnastics to get to a point where you have an organization that you all voluntarily choose to go to and then all voluntarily choose to enforce that is beyond me.
That is so ridiculous. What in God's name did you just tell me? That reminds me of those TV shows you watch where they play the most ridiculous, you know, they spin the pen and it's like a party and then the two people have to kiss whichever it lands on, and then
spin the bottle,
and then these people playing the game have girlfriends and boyfriends, and then they still make them kiss or whatever, and then it ruins the relationship, and they're like, well, it's just a game. It's like, what? Why are you playing the game, you dip?
Mental gymnastics. People will go to certain lengths to justify ridiculous things. It's crazy.
I'm so, bro. America.
3, 2, 1.
All right. Oh no, what's happened to her?
I didn't do anything like crazy that's disrespectful to my body, but going in front of a panel in front of hundreds of other sorority girls, just conquering that fear of being on stage, that's something I had to do that was uncomfortable for me. So it's a different way of how you perceive
I know the new thing. What they're gonna do is like, okay, girl with the least upvotes on Instagram starts an OnlyFans. Like that's the new that's gonna happen now.
If they're still in the sorority, they will not say anything about it. And like, especially fraternity guys, even people I'm close with, it is I don't know what happened to them sometimes. Like you're just like, oh, I can't say, because they will actually be freaking screwed over if anything gets out. Like it's so secretive and it's so cringe. I'm like, dude, you're choosing to do. That's the thing. This is such a self-own.
Yeah.
It is such a self-own. Oh my god, whatever. I sound like an old man.
If
screaming
it's
at the bird.
secretive, why put it on the internet?
That's why I don't think this answer. If they're still in the sororities, this answer is not going to be. These will be fake answers. I'm just gonna be straight up.
The question
These
as
are not
well
real.
is just like I've had like a lot of social anxiety, and like even talking to like older women in my sorority, like that is really uncomfortable for me. But like once I like push through and I talk to them, I'm like, damn, you are so fire. Like I can't believe I was nervous. So
A consequence of being vice president, I had to send girls to collections and stuff like that if potentially, let's say, they didn't pay or whatever. Like, I don't like doing that. Like, I don't like messing with people's money, or I guess in that kind of way. Like, that's like when I've been forced to do actually forced, like binded by contract to do something I'm very uncomfortable with. Like, that was kind of like knife to my throat.
The reason why I'm on somewhat disagree is not because I've been made to do things that are uncomfortable. I think I've been made to do things that I'm like, I don't get the point. I don't see why we need to do this. It doesn't make sense. I can't really say because it's during pledgeship process.
Totally.
But it was just little stuff like that where it's like, it's not harming me or anything, but I don't see the reason why for it.
Yeah, so they're not gonna say it because they're gonna get banned. It's like criminals, and then there's like, oh, admit your crimes on camera. Like, bruh, they're not gonna do it.
You want to hear another one?
I'm already brain dead at this point. Might as well wipe out my entire existence.
So you're given a choice. It's called blow or blow.
Lovely. What are we talking about? Candles? Blowing out candles?
Not exactly. So there's a certain powdered sugar type substance, and then there is a certain act you can do to a man. Those are your two options.
Oh.
And you choose to do it. It's a cell phone. Oh my god.
my
you pay to do
God.
it too. It's so crazy.
How are there so many like degenerate people that I cover on the main channel? Everybody I cover is just some lunatic from like a college doing some idiotic things, and I'm starting to realize how they churn out these absolute bots over here. It's all making sense to me now. It's the whole system put in place.
I'm not gonna lie.
It's the whole system in place. This channel is your only saving grace at this point. You're being brainwashed, poisoned, everything, all right? This is your only saving grace. Listen to some good morals from the Connor and Pugs channel right here. Jeez.
I was just wondering, how did you guys interpret the question? Did you guys interpret it like more like hazing?
They tell us each year in our conference that there was a school years ago who would tie these girls up, and they were forced to walk out in the ocean and find a way to untie themselves. So for the viewers out there, don't get it twisted. Like, there's a lot of girls out there who do things that they are absolutely is a disgrace to their body, and I want.
It's called torture. What is happening here?
You know that people die like every year from hazing?
Wait, what is hazing? Is it just like bullying or like what?
It basically the process of bullying. A lot of like the deaths by hazing will be from a lot of hazing is forced alcohol consumption beyond to lethal levels. That's when they die. Oh my god! If
I'm so glad
died,
I didn't, dude. I had a choice to study in the U.S. So glad I didn't take it, bro. Oh my god. Ooh.
Yeah.
It's never that serious.
I also feel like I have a unique experience like in my sorority because I'm queer, and like majority of my line sisters are not. And so like when I'm in those spaces, people are like, "You really gay, girl?" And I'm just like, I'm pretty sure.
Like, it's not like that.
I'll think it changed. I might swing your way, but I'm not swinging your way. Like, like you're not my cup of tea. So it's just like that discomfort or like the invalidation of like a part of my identity because someone think they're entitled to like, I don't know what, my time, or is like frustrating.
No, yeah.
Now that I'm older, I've grown so much from like being a freshman and now I'm a junior. So like my freshman year, if you were to ask me this question, I would have said, yeah, I felt uncomfortable because you have junior and senior guys preying on 17, 18-year-olds. And it's gross and like you feel under pressure because like, oh, like this older guy's talking to me and he wants me to do this, so I'm gonna do that even though you don't really want to. But it's a way to get invited back to a party and like get to know people. But now that I'm older and I go to the fraternities that I feel the most comfortable at and know that if something were to happen to me or any of my friends, like they would take care of it. I don't really feel uncomfortable anymore. Drugs and like.
I'm starting to realize where the hyper-sexualized culture comes from. It just seems so like you're tossed into university. I guess for the girls, there's like guys just preying on them or something. The guys are probably encouraged to bang as many as possible or something, like it's some sort of ridiculous achievement. It's just a yucky culture in my opinion.
So it's something, man.
Like touch you weird and It's just, it's really disgusting and gross.
And it's hard like when you're in their house. Like
Exactly.
they like empower each other, you know? Like, and I wonder like kind of like turns into like a pissing contest. Like all of them like trying to like alpha each other. Like it's like a lot, but I don't know, it's also kind of fun. Like if you like are somewhere safe, right? Like
Most sane sorority girl right there. Most sane sorority girl. I don't know, it's like this pissing contest, absolutely disgusting, making girls do all these things they don't want to, but it's also kind of fun. Jesus Christ. Like, I just saw her brain switch to mode number 2, just monkey brain immediately. Dear God.
You're so chaotic. I love it.
I love it.
I don't worry about money.
First of all, with the multicultural organizations, for the viewers, definitely a lot more cheaper than the Panhellenics. That's kind of the main reason why I joined. I'm low income, that's like obvious. And it's just hard sometimes because I do love this org and I want to stay in it, but there are times where I have to think future-wise. Am I gonna have to go inactive? Am I gonna have to actually leave because I don't have money to even do this? And that's pretty upsetting. And sorority, being a sorority is a lot of money. We can all agree. It's a lot of money. And
Not the best, okay, from what I hear from this video, not the best way to spend your money. Take up a Coursera course, learn something, Jesus Christ.
I've experienced that. Like I've gone inactive not because I wanted to, but because I couldn't afford, to shell out $1,000 a quarter. So last year I tried to apply for scholarships. I did feel a little bit misled during the recruitment process about like financial transparency. I don't think it's on specific people, but I think not being educated enough about your own chapter and then bringing other people into it and being like, yeah, we have scholarships. And it's like, okay, you do, but you have to pay for the whole year first. But I'm lucky in that like my president last year was amazing and she worked with me to get me on special status. I could be inactive, I could still be a part of the chapter. Like my best friend can bring me to things. But it's something to consider, and I do feel like the finances of Greek life are what make it's so inaccessible to so many people.
So I'm lucky my chapter is very flexible with dues. Like it's such a blessing. Like that's so terrible and I'm so sorry. But the social aspect of the sorority is like the most expensive part for me. Like, oh my God, like outfits and then Ubers and drinks at the bar. And nobody's forcing me to do these things, but you want to hang out with your sisters. You want to be around them. And
This is so cringe, bro. Why are they complaining when nobody's forcing you to actually, like, if you want to fit in so bad, that's like a decision you're consciously making as a full-grown adult to buy these outfits, go on these Uber rides, get drunk. This is like, it's just absolving all accountability from yourself. Like, oh, it's because I gotta fit in. You don't have to fit in. Just because you're flipping Timmy over there's wearing Balenciaga or whatever you can wear a Walmart white tee, okay? Nobody gives a I mean, maybe they do, but they're not people whose opinion you want to consider. I don't know what it is with this ridiculous concept of trying to fit in, wearing all this rich stuff, spending all your parents' hard-earned money, by the way. It's like, I don't know how you even spend any money. Like, I remember, like, when I was depending on my parents' money, every single dollar I spent felt so guilty. I was like, oh my God, I can't do this, I'm using their money. Bro, it would drive me insane, honestly. Thank God I got this.
When you're going through rush, nobody's telling you that. Like dues, I was prepared for, I'd signed up for, but I had no idea how much like the social part of it would be.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't talk about that because there's a good chunk of people that don't pay anything out of their own bank accounts, and it's like their parents, which if you can do that, I'm jealous. Like, I wish that I had that kind of support.
Yeah, that's my situation.
Yeah, that's
too.
me.
Yeah, I'm super blessed and thankful that my parents do pay for my dues. They do pay for, obviously not the social aspect of it, but if I like need a dress for an event or if I need stuff for like recruitment, they'll help me out in that regard. We have this whole financial plan figured out, and how they see it is essentially like an investment in my future because of what I will get out of being a part of the sorority. The reason why I'm on somewhat agree and not on agree is because I took it in like two different perspectives. One is like my own financial status, but also I was on my sorority's executive board and we don't have a lot of money. People think sororities are like unlimited funds, like we have so much money to spend like ridiculous amounts of dollars on stupid things, but my sorority is not like that at all. Like we struggled with dues and stuff because people don't pay their dues either.
Yeah.
They just expect to join and they don't pay the dues, and then we don't have any money to do anything with that. So I do worry about the financial status of my chapter.
I agree with you, what you were saying. Like, I'm fortunate to have parents who will pay my dues, my outfits, everything I need. Being an African-American based sorority, the women are not hesitant on helping you out for any funds that you need.
Yeah. I have a question real quick for you guys. When you guys go through recruitment, do they give you like a financial transparency sheet that like lays out everything? No?
Absolutely not.
Wow.
Really?
It's not transparent because nobody would rush. Like nobody would join if they knew how much. I mean, I'm sure some people would, but
With our
Sounds like college to me. Nobody tells you what it's actually gonna be like. They just give you that. Oh well, it's like this ranking
Like,
and
oh yeah, by the way, here's the bill.
yeah.
It's like, oh, can I get a job that will have any return? Make this make sense? Like, no.
So ridiculous. I remember when I got into my dream university, it was absolutely nothing like what I imagined. Completely ridiculous, horrible. Sometimes, I don't know, if you're applying to college and stuff and then you don't get into one of your top universities, maybe it was a blessing in disguise, okay? You might think life is perfect there, you're gonna meet all these great people, the lifestyle is gonna be good, the campus is good and all that. Nah. You won't know until you've been there and lived through it. So, I don't know, everything happens for a reason, you know?
sorority, so they are very flexible, and I am thankful for that. But they weren't as transparent with that because my sorority is Latina based, and so obviously a lot of them come in first gen, low income, and we never want you to feel discouraged, like, oh, now I can't join because of money.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, absolutely. But I also think there should be a part where we're like, okay, well, let me be realistic to you.
They want you to join while you're low income as well. They just prey on you all the time. It's the same reason they don't tell you how much tax money you owe. They want you to calculate it yourself, even though they know the exact amount you're supposed to pay. They're mental.
So annoying to
It
me.
is
Just like,
so
tell me, dude.
it is so insanely dumb. Okay, this is gonna sound like whole conspiracy theory, but there's people at the top, all right, and they really want to keep you down there. Okay, this is what it is. If you look at any of our systems anywhere, you'd realize. But it's the number one thing that should be an indication is the fact that there's fast food places literally everywhere. That is poison. It's trying to kill you, bro. Yet it's literally everywhere. The fact that you have to pay for all you need to survive, like insulin, bro. It's ridiculous.
This was submitted by Teo. Racism exists within sororities. 3, 2,
I'm so sorry.
1. That's okay, go.
For my sorority, first Black African-American sorority out there, we prefer to stick with our people, but we're always welcome to branching out to a multicultural perspective. But I think there's a sorority for everything. You'll have your multicultural sororities, predominantly white sororities, and we have our predominantly Black sororities.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think it's just empowering to be in a space where you're poured into by people who are successful and look like you. That's like extremely, honestly, life-changing. Like, and if someone from a different ethnicity wanted to join, like my personal perspective is just like, simply why? Like, I'm not gonna, it's just like, well, not why, like, you can't be here. I'm just genuinely interested in knowing why. Like, if someone was adopted and grew up in a Black family and that's all they know, it's like, okay, like, girl, come on. Like, I fully understand that. So
I think there's a lot of like kind of hidden stuff that kind of exists. It's like when you always want to associate with people you kind of grew up around and you know with, which is why the same race will always stick together and kind of have their own conversations in their own groups all the time. And when another race tries to come in, they'll be less receptive to them than the rest of them. It's not like explicit racism. It's just like, hey, I want to stick to what I know, and just I relate to these people. So yeah, it's kind of hard for a bunch of people.
Oh, it's not like there's like a don't join this. It's just more so this is a safe space. And as a person who is not a Black woman, why are you wanting to enter our safe space?
I know some sororities that do select people of color to join just to look better. They don't really genuinely care, and it's really sad and it's disgusting.
It's performative activism.
The old quota. Fix the quota. Fill it in.
Yeah.
I regret joining a sorority.
Oh, it's a sorority? I thought it was sonority. Damn, I've been reading it wrong this entire
Yeah,
time.
it's sorority, man.
Bruh.
Oh, you're just cutting out every time you said it.
Bruh.
Oh, it's more, sometimes it's a burden for me, honestly. It's not an all-around, overall, like, settled regret, but I have my moments. But I do like my friends. I am very thankful for them, but maybe it's not enough, like, to, like, put up with everything else. Like, to put up with the complicity, to put up, like, with bullshit that I don't care about, to put up with gossip, to put up with paying dues, so.
Like hearing people like say things about me, like my sisters that I don't even really know. Hearing like not nice things about yourself is really hard. At this point in time, in it for the connections that I will have after college, because I'm in my last 2 quarters of school, and I'm really
They
grateful.
all look traumatized. Anyways, tell us your experience of sorority. Anyways, click this video. Bye-bye.